house tonight.
What's that?
She had a good idea. Wonder do these two sit too close together? Do you know what I mean? Maybe
I
they
don't know that
cause,
we need to today.
Breaker,
cause
breaker,
interference.
19.
I don't know. It'll help it. We'll see.
Well, it stopped going.
Look, I got his
It's
attention.
working. It's working, Case.
Stop it.
Stopped going.
Well, maybe that was what it was. Maybe it was getting feedback from.
And I moved mine from out front of my face, so.
Well, here I thought I was smart and said hello. It didn't say anything. I didn't turn the recording, like the volume sound mic button on. I turned the video feed buttons on. I forgot the third switch.
Okay.
Sweet
So
Jesus.
everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Yes.
call the meeting to order, the finance meeting to order at 6:38 PM. Call to order, roll call,
Michelle Dumont,
here.
Bob Payborn,
Here.
Corey Carrier.
Here. Okay, and has everyone read the minutes for the finance meeting from October 10th?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the meetings from October 10th.
Okay,
Meeting minutes is what I just.
then we'll start looking at approval of documents.
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. See, that's what I told you I needed you back for.
I got you. I got you.
And what are we doing now? Appropriations?
Yeah, so approval of documents, so we'll go through, gonna start looking at the bank recs and the
The minutes or the agenda.
cash ledger.
So we actually have an extra person somebody needs it.
Okay.
Finance, so if they want it, they don't.
Okay.
If not, we'll just.
Remind me to ask a question in council about, the water towers.
Okay.
Yeah, let's find out about the water.
I wanna know
Well,
all
one
about the
that
water.
knows it isn't here.
Well, he did leave some notes on an email that I might have the answer to it, maybe.
You might.
So I'll put that under old
New
business,
business.
just so I don't forget.
He did leave a note on it. I found mine.
Yeah, I'll have to get my little phone out.
Oh, do you need a copy?
I have a printed copy if you need one.
Oh, yeah,
You got
probably
one
would
too?
be, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, I got one too.
That'd be easier to read.
I'll reprint it.
Thank you.
You might need these two for regular council.
Okay.
Those are, we're doing a second reading of those tonight.
Okay.
I thought he said he left them, but
I couldn't find them anywhere.
the second reading,
So I'll just use these that I printed off, and I'll just write first reading, and then we'll write second reading the date on it.
that's fine. Well, I just gave her my copy so she goes, so.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I'll put it with this other one.
There's probably one in this one.
Actually, it shows
No,
two
there's- I didn't-
resolutions and two ordinances in there listed.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're doing the second reading of the two ordinances,
Okay,
and that's what I just gave to you. They're not in the packet because we already had them last month,
oh, gotcha.
because this is the second reading, so I didn't waste
Okay.
paper printing them again.
Okay,
On the fund ledger, there's a solicitation permit for Jeffrey Rapp. Who is that?
He was the one that was doing the, for the electric, wasn't it? See the one that-
Jeffrey Rapp?
Maybe.
I was just
I
wondering.
think he was the one that was selling, doing like the electric
I
company.
think you used Spectrum.
Okay, Spectrum.
It was a phone/internet.
Okay.
so Lancaster City Schools on the bank rec?
Yes, we bought tables.
Oh,
from
that's
them.
right, yeah, we talked about that, okay. And how about regional planning for 130?
Regional, 130?
Yeah,
That's that membership that we signed up for.
oh, that's right.
It's our weekly,
Okay.
or month, or yearly membership fee. I had to think about what it was called, sorry.
Right. I'm gonna pass them to you as I look at them, so that we can. Perfect.
All of this money is crap.
I wrote what? Looks like crap. Oh.
Crap on the side of it.
Yeah, that's when we were working on Sam's computer, had to be, she got a new computer, so we had to
Yeah.
switch everything over, and then we were having problems with the chief's computer, and something else too, that he only did an update also.
What's 100 North Main Street? What building is it? Is that way?
Yeah, that's the old IGA, the one we
Oh.
got, the vacant one,
Got it.
I call it the old IGA.
Is Perry Mason like renting a
Yes.
portion?
The back part of it.
And what's Myers and Myers Farms?
That is, they are leasing the land that we bought out on Pleasantville Road beside the water tower.
What are they doing with it?
They
Growing
farm
things?
it.
Oh,
They
that's
farm it.
nice. They have chickens and goats running around on it or what?
Corn.
Living spring. That's all it is.
Do you want my pay register so you can keep yours?
Yeah, that'd be good. I'll get it. I'll come.
And then I want this so you can sign the minutes for finance.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Why do we pay, yeah, I probably have asked this in the past, why do we pay Wex Bank for gas?
West Bank,
Wex?
that's the name of, it's the Marathon is now Wex Bank.
Oh, oh,
That's
okay.
what we pay it to. Sorry.
Okay, so is it just the bank that they're through, or is that their actual name?
I think that's just the bank they're through. That's who I have to mail the payments to.
And you do it payable to Wex Bank?
Yes.
Oh,
Weird.
that is weird, because it's like, how do they know where to?
Well, hello.
Hey, Bill.
Casey, do you have your gas card? It's in the truck, isn't it? Okay, never mind. It's okay. Because I think it says Marathon on it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably processing for Marathon,
That's their bank.
but it's probably going to Marathon.
Let's just look.
Do you know what I mean?
It says Marathon University. And it also has the Wex Bank.
Okay. So maybe I would suggest do Wex Bank and then dash Marathon. Just for us to keep track of that it's actually, like for later, if somebody would look at this, or payment to Marathon or something. I don't know, ask Jason, but I feel like we should be, I know you're mailing it to them, but I think we're actually paying Marathon. Do you know what I mean? Just so we're tracking it correctly. Just,
Why do you pay Lancaster?
Lancaster Schools, when we bought the tables.
Oh, is that the?
Yeah, the $300 is when we bought the tables.
and then advanced business communications, it says comp,
Computers.
computer.
That's our
Okay,
computer people.
okay.
That's the one I thought
That's
said
the one,
credit.
yeah, that's the one she is. We
Okay.
had to, they switched Sam's computer. She got a new computer and they had to switch the old one to the new one. And then they worked here on this thing and then they worked on the chief's computer. So,
And then Vinton County, I'm sure it's one of our loan payments, but what's
is it for the
13,
1,084?
no, 135605?
That's a charge card.
Okay,
And a lot of those was for the festival and stuff, where we
Okay.
had to buy supplies for it.
And then Caden Foster, 216.
He's one of our police officers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
That was special duty when chief was on vacation, I believe.
okay.
Just shout when you're done, I'll take them over your book.
I could really go to sleep with that.
Wow, why'd you wind that thing up? That way you got no time.
Thank you. I was gonna say I'd call you tomorrow, but I probably won't call you tomorrow. No offense.
I thought so too. That was not, try it.
Michelle, thanks, man.
That one's the one.
It was a rainy, rainy day today.
And last
Yeah.
one.
My parents finally have water in the creek again. Been dry for a long time.
I get excited when we have mud puddles in our driveway. That's bad, isn't it?
Something else.
Okay, so, do I hear a motion for the approval of documents?
I'll make a motion to approve the documents.
I'll second
Did she say all in favor?
All in
Do I-
favor?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
that. Aye.
Okay, anybody have any old business?
I do not.
So the new business is Resolution 11-14-2401. It's a supplemental appropriations that will be discussed at council. It's a street fund for operating supplies and materials and mayor's court fund for office supplies and material. And,
That's just my back.
okay, yep, and we'll look at it during the regular meeting. So do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting, finance meeting.
And I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What time is it?
Okay, we close the meeting out at 6:51 PM.
Hello.
I think Michelle can get it done.
Okay.
Wait, let me get to my screen, hold on.
Okay, no rush.
I need a Diet Pepsi.
Oh, is there any in the refrigerator? All right.
Hold up, where'd it go?
Had an out of sorts day, I need to go home and get it over with.
Okay, I'm ready when you are, Michelle.
Okay. We will bring the Village of Pleasantville Council meeting to order at 7:01 PM, November 14th. Call to order?
Oh, let's do that.
Oh, it's second on there, so
Pledge of allegiance?
Oh, we are, I'm sorry, that was me. We'll do the
We'll
pledge
do this
first.
first.
We'll do the pledge first. Yep, we'll wait on you.
You're fine.
You're fine. Okay. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry.
oh, you're fine. Okay, call to order?
Okay. You need roll call. Is Mayor Henderson? President Dumont?
Here.
Councilman Mason?
Here.
Councilman Pangborn?
Here.
Councilwoman Harrier?
Here.
Councilwoman Morton? Here. Councilwoman Henry?
Here. Okay, so we're not going to approve our regular council meeting minutes because we did find some changes that need to be made. So we're going to table that until the next meeting if everybody's okay with that.
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to table it?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Second it?
What's wrong with it?
Katie made the motion.
Yeah, they need to do some
Bill.
additions.
Second it, okay.
To the loan. stuff.
Sam, did you hear? Katie made the motion.
Katie made the
I did
motion
not,
to
I'm sorry.
And Bill
table the
seconded
regular meeting minutes and the special council meeting.
And second by
Bill?
President Dumont?
Yes.
Councilman Mason?
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morton? Yes. Councilwoman Henry?
Yes.
Okay. Public input? I don't know. Who wants to start first?
My name's Melissa Connor, and I'm here to represent a grassroots group called Citizens. You're probably familiar with our group. We've been around now, unfortunately, for about 2.5 years, studying everything we could possibly do on the industrial scale. The project that is facing us immediately here in Walnut Township, or I guess I should say across the street in Walnut Township, it's called Eastern Cottontail. It is an industrial scale project, and they have released 1,550 acres that are up for immediate approval. And the Ohio Power Siting Board will either decide to approve or deny that project. I will present my ask up first, and then I will explain the information that I have in the binder. And since I saw you, Michelle, we have updated our binder, so
Okay.
I'll trade you tonight so that
Okay.
you have the most up-to-date information.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some handouts which have some of the key items on them. But as a group, we started, we've talked a lot about what we are concerned about, drainage, health and safety, possible flooding, thank you, et cetera. And we started saying, well, the Ohio Power Siting Board is in that their job is to approve projects. And they're approving projects all over the state of Ohio. So what makes us special? Other than the fact that we all live here. So we put together this binder after we got our thoughts together regarding that, because we realized as we looked at a lot of these projects around Ohio, you'll see 3 of them there in the rectangular box, and you'll see that we are way more populated than these other projects. The other ones you see listed there have a lot more acreage and way fewer homes. So we're saying our area is too populated for this type of a project. Just to give you a little bit of background, we are zoned rural residential outside of the village here, and we thought our zoning would protect us from having an industry come and be right across the road from us. Or in some cases, right beside, and in some cases where a house is surrounded on 3 sides by this industrial solar plant. So when we look at these other projects and we compare them to what this is in our area and how close we are to a resort town and Buckeye Lake, the project is only 3 miles away, we think that is something that people ought to be paying attention to. All of us have well water outside of the village. So if we are concerned about health and safety, those are things that we need to be aware of. Our ask is that you as a council present a letter to the Ohio Power Siting Board asking that they deny this project. The other thing that you will see in our binder, we have a new deadline, for which I am very pleased. We finally have our public hearing date scheduled, therefore we're able to put in our deadline of December 13th. So we've got a month to figure out what it is we're doing, but we need to have any letters that are submitted by that date. So if you would please. Also in the binder, we have what you have on the back of that handout where you have the addresses. And we would ask that you send any copies to our other elected officials. We have some bullet points in the binder that talk about, we always talk about property rights. That's the number one thing that comes up. And I have to admit, when I first learned about this project, as I was talking with someone, a friend of mine who had leased his property, and I'm driving home and I'm thinking, well, it is his property, he can do what he wants. And the more I thought about that, and the more I learned about it, I realized that's not right. Property rights are not absolute. I own property and I have property too. So where does the line stop? Well, the line stops at your property line. You can do anything you want on your property within the zoning of your township, but you can't do anything that will cause harm to someone on the other side of the property line. This is why we don't have strip clubs beside schools, right? We put zoning in place, or if you're familiar with homeowners associations, put those things in place to protect the value, the safety, the environment that we're trying to create, whether it's in our township or our subdivision or wherever it is that we live. Same thing that you do in the village. You try to keep the businesses together. You try to keep the residential areas residential. So it's just in everybody's best interest to try to do that. Because it has been declared a public utility, they are able to ignore our zoning and come in and step on us anyway. The only thing we have are our voices. That's the only way we can stop this project, and we intend to do that very thing, because we don't think it's right for our community, for the reasons that I've laid out. We have many letters in support, but the interesting thing about the letters are that those who are writing, saying that they oppose the project and want the project to be denied, people who are supporting the project are submitting form letters. The Ohio Power Siting Board looks at those two types of letters very differently. So an original letter from you as a council would be fantastic. An original letter from you as an individual would also be fantastic. We have this pie chart which shows that within 1 mile of the project, we have 1,029 homes that are being affected. 1,029 homes that are being affected. That's not people, that's homes. Now, I don't know what the multiplication of that would be, if that's times 2.3, I don't know what that would be, but it's certainly more than 1,029 people. We have 13 families that have leased their property. We have 85 of those 1,000 that are considered adjacent or within 500 feet of a solar panel. Now that 500 feet, that's a definition from Eastern Cottontail. That's the way they define it. And that's the information that we're looking at when we look at those other projects that have the 11 and 7 and 4, whatever those numbers are, adjacent within 500 feet. So this is very different. This is very, very different. And we're talking about 1,550 acres on prime farmland. It is considered prime farmland if drained. There have been many projects in Ohio where the drainage has been an issue, because when they drive the piles that support the solar panels, they go down through the drainage tiles. And if you know anything about farming in this area, you know that we have drainage, and that the drainage connects from one farm to another in order to get that water run out. When you have topsoil on top of your clay, like we have here, our topsoil almost works like a filter or a sponge, if you will. So that water percolates down through the topsoil before it gets to the clay layer. That slows it down. Now we have a lot of impervious solar panels. So the water hits those, the water sheets off just like it does on the roof of your house. And now it hits that clay soil because they have shoved the topsoil aside. So we have a lot of water moving very fast with no way to slow it down. These are concerns about flooding and about drainage in farm fields. The next in the binder is the map of the 1,550 acres. In the middle of this is the intersection of 188 and 256. So if anybody says, well, we're not gonna see it, I'm sorry, you're sadly mistaken. You are going to see it. The bubble that is around it marks that 1/2 mile mark. And I'll be leaving this with Michelle, you guys can take a look. Just for fun, I looked at the plan and noted all of the places where we talk about in that Fairfield County land use plan, just approved, it's considered the 2023 land use plan, and the importance of ag heritage in our county. It also talks about the economic value of agriculture in our county. And lastly, I marked the places where it talks about the village growth. Village growth is obviously something that a lot of villages are very interested in. We took a map of the project and we overlaid the map of the land use plan. And in it, you'll see Pleasantville with its purple growth bubble around it, and Thurston with its purple growth bubble around it. And I understand that Commissioner Fix has been working with both villages very hard to put into place the infrastructure that you need to be able to grow your village. You will notice that in Thurston, it goes over part of that 1,550, so there is a direct conflict there. And if we look at the other 800 acres, nearly 800 acres that they have leased, that we fully expect them to ask for approval once they get this contiguous acreage approved. Then we're also crossing over it out here on 37, as well as the Shady Maple Farm parcel that is right outside of the edge of Pleasantville, as well as the parcel on out County Road 17. And those are both parcels that are included in your purple bubble. So if we're looking to grow the village, and we're talking to developers who might be interested in growing, maybe putting it aside on a current project, those developers are not looking to be near a solar field. That's just not gonna be real high on their list of priorities. So if that's the case, now we have eliminated growing to the east, going up County Road 17, because we would have solar panels on both sides of the road. If we go out 188, well then we're going towards solar panels that direction too. I know that the farm fields directly to the south are not gonna be an option for development, because I'm very familiar with the people who farm there, and I know that they are living so for a very long time. So now we're looking at the main thoroughfare of County Road 17 going to the west. That's what you've got left. So I want you to carefully consider this. The other things that we have in here that we've added, since I was able to show this to Michelle, was in the Kingwood Solar Project, which is located over in Greene County, on the western side of Ohio. One of the people that was adjacent to that project took photographs from his yard and then did a simulation of what those solar panels would look like, where they were placed in the application in that same photograph. Just to give you an idea of what that would look like from the view from his house. In this case, I believe this is his grandson flying a kite. As well as from an upper story window. I want you to hear, I want you to know what we're talking about. We didn't know a darn thing about any of this stuff when we started 2.5, 3 years ago. But we have studied and researched and probably seem a little kooky about it. But you're looking at 2 families there and myself, well, that's 3 wells that could all be affected by what happens with the potential safety of the water and our ground around us. So I will submit this back to you, ma'am.
Okay, we'll leave it with Penny at the office for now.
Great, and if there are any questions I can answer, or my team of folks over there, we would be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. And I didn't mean to ignore you, but trying to get all the copies get expensive.
Did you mention the letters in the back of that book?
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. At the very end of the book, this is why they have to come with me. At the
So,
very end.
so I do have a question.
Sure.
Just to clarify.
Mhm.
The areas the solar panels are going in on 17 are here, which is go out 17 and Lake, on the other side of Lake Road, right?
Yes, between Lake and Cattail,
Right, yeah, you go out 17 this way.
out that way, on the right.
And then Lake Road actually turns to the right and goes out to Richland, and it's on the opposite side of Lake Road, and then on out Pleasantville Road
Yeah, when we get out to here,
to Outer Road.
yeah,
But this is, just for the council to know, this is the closest to Pleasantville.
no, the closest is this, right by your water treatment area. It's odd in this map, but you can see a little sliver of the hot pink right there. This land right here belonging to Shady Maple, on both sides of the railroad tracks. It goes right here, I'm sorry, right here on the railroad tracks. Yeah, it's easier to see there. That's the closest one to Pleasantville, this
We're right
parcel right there.
right now.
Okay, so where are the tracks?
The tracks come right through here.
Okay. Right, gotcha.
And then this is the one we were just talking about.
So
between
I'm just
Lake
gonna
and-
mark,
Yeah,
just so when they're looking at it, I can see it.
yeah.
So I'm confused about how it comes over to the tracks. It comes over the tracks, what, back by the dollar store?
It does not. It only goes here, I think,
There's a property between here.
yeah, that sliver. And these are the tracks. So I'm
Okay.
sorry, when I said it crossed over the tracks, it does
Okay,
not.
okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I don't
the
think it
dark
could.
purple does not.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. That way that when they're looking, they
it's
can.
right there. It's frequent flyer miles now. But what Barb wanted me to point out to you is in the back of the binder, there
Okay.
are letters that we have
There
had
you go.
submitted to the Ohio Power Sighting Board from other townships and villages that are here in the back. So should you decide to write a letter, then this might be a good way for you to get started. I will say that the village of Thurston actually submitted 3 letters, one from the mayor, one from the council, and one from the village administrator. And they are top-notch letters, they're really well written. So those are great ones to read for reference or just for entertainment. This is how we entertain ourselves. So, any other questions?
The trustees of Lake Township about this?
Yes. Submitted a letter.
They did?
Yeah, and they have done everything that they can do legally to protect.
Okay.
They have, township trustees have jurisdiction over projects that are up to 49.9 megawatts. The project that we're talking about is 220. So it is also a project that has been grandfathered. So although exclusionary zone for all of the unincorporated areas in the county. It doesn't apply to this project. So this project, we have to take action in a way that I suggested, that we might do others. So,
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Also, are these,
Oh.
thank you
go
very
ahead.
much.
I think he's asking
are
something.
these,
I'm sorry.
foreign-owned, is this a foreign-owned company?
Yes, sir, this is a French
That's what I
company.
thought. Yeah, I heard, France and Germany coming in running a lot of these.
Yeah,
And then when they're building the panels, those people a lot of times don't benefit from electricity up here too.
yes, sir. This is slated to go to the grid. You'll notice there's a big transmission line. Okay, that big transmission line was updated several years ago, maybe 5, I don't really remember. I remember when they were doing it, but at the time it didn't mean anything to me. This power will go from those solar panels to that, which will go to the West Muskingum, which is, or West Millersport. It's the West Millersport Muskingum line that's out on 37. And it powers our section of the grid, if you will, is called PJM. And that power from PJM controls the power that goes to all or parts of 13 states and the District of Columbia. So it goes from Chicago to Maryland, New Jersey, down the, mid-Atlantic states, and all of Ohio. So the power will go where it's needed. So it'll go to the big cities within that space.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's, we just happen to be the poor suckers who happen to be living here next to it.
A lot of the large companies have already bought the energy contract.
Yeah.
Google, Amazon, Intel have already bought their energy.
So they install these projects, and then after Eastern Cottontail, which is owned by EDF, Energy Difference, they will most likely sell this project, and it will go to whoever is the next owner. So that's part of our concern is, and excuse me for sounding arrogant, but as much as I am against this for myself and my family and my neighbors and their families, I'm also concerned about the folks who signed up their leases, because there's no promise down the road. And should these companies declare bankruptcy, which is not uncommon,
Not uncommon, very, very, yeah.
then they're left with whatever they're left with. And we're talking about a brownfield that will be very expensive to try to get all that cabling and all of that out of the ground. And once you remove that topsoil, this is no longer prime farming.
We'll farm that for 50, 60 years.
It'll never be returned to the productivity level that it is right now. So when they say it'll be agriculture, I think in this part of the country, we all know the difference between, there's a reason why we raise corn and soybeans here. We're very good at it. This land is perfect for it. It's not the same as putting a bunch of goats out on weeds. You could call that agriculture too, and it is. But you're not gonna be able to make a living doing that. So, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Anyone else from the public?
I'm just gonna give you 2 minutes,
Okay,
and it goes with this. My name's Francis Martin, I live on Cattail, I'm gonna be across the street from this. I'm just gonna let you know, this is from their application to Ohio Power Siting Board, and this is what they think of us out here. This is the population that they are saying we're gonna be. I've known you, talked to Jeff Fix, I know what's going on, I've talked to them about the land use plan and how we're gonna grow these cities or the villages. They're predicting 2034 that the village of Pleasantville is gonna be minus 18.3% in population. This is in their application. They're saying Thurston is gonna be down 17.6%. The village of Buckeye Lake, minus 8%. Millersport, down 6.5%. They're telling the Ohio Power Siting Board that we're not gonna be we're not having anything here, so you might as well just put these here. I'll just give you this and I'll
Okay.
leave it with that.
Earlier about Fairfield Beach,
Well, I would assume that has to do with Walnut Township, but it's gonna be down 2.2%. These are their numbers, I didn't make these up.
okay. We'll put the information with Penny, and that way the council members could share it amongst themselves and read it. Okay, anyone else from the public, or we're good? Okay, so, we'll move on to council reports. During the finance meeting, we didn't see anything, any different, and there will be a supplemental appropriation later on in the meeting that's related to our street fund and our mayor's court fund. And then zoning property maintenance, there's nothing new to report on that. Rules, records, law,
Nothing to report on rules, records, and
make a meeting.
meeting for us three to get together and go through some stuff.
Okay, afterwards we can.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll set a meeting after the meeting for the next meeting. Okay, and then recreation, community center, I didn't see anything, but.
No, nothing new.
Okay. Safety service,
Nope. Good.
okay. The regional planning board, there's nothing new there, and then we haven't had a health board meeting, so nothing to report there. Grants and updates, we applied for the OPWC funding for Walnut, for 46.9, the local contributions 23,345. We also applied for the CDBG 2024. It's the Audi Park playground equipment for 98.8. The grant's 83.6 and the local contribution's 15.2. Of course, then we have the funding program or project funding that we talked about previously, the CDBG funding, the OPCW, the water meter replacement is in process, and the ARPA county level funding, and then the FC land bank. I would notate just a couple notes from the mayor. On the Walnut Street tower, it is progressing, and the village has been notified that the residents do have paints overspray. The contractor is insured and will be handling that, and they are responsible for that. And then the Summit Street storm line, they have completed the storm drain on North Main Street, and they are about halfway up Second Street. Everything appears to be going well and will be completed on time. Those are the two notes that he had for those.
Exactly where they are. They're right behind my house.
That's good.
All of their equipment is parked right there behind my shed.
Good. Okay, and so then future projects he has listed here is the safe routes to school, the Main Street improvements, the WTP design, the WTP build. We have the 100 North Main Street, the South Main Street sidewalks and curbs, Richland Road sidewalks, the West Columbus Street sidewalks, Lincoln Avenue phase, first and second, stormwater, and then High Street stormwater, and then Lincoln Avenue phase 3. Anybody has any questions or comments? Okay, we'll move on to the maintenance report, Casey.
Maintenance has been weird. We've only had a couple meters go out, we've got a couple meters, but we got more that we realized we dropped. So we will be having to order some more meters. But that's all with the new system. We picked up the antennas, so we should be getting new antennas once we get those, we can actually start adding more to the new system.
Okay.
We found 2 major leaks. We've stopped those, but there's still some more out there. We're still looking, so put the word out. If they lose water pressure, if you're, let us know. Because a lot of times that's a good indicator that there's a leak in the line somewhere near your location. The pool is winterized for the season, and we're getting ready to start the shelter house probably next week to be winterized and shut down for the season also. Grange, most of those, fixes are done and ready. When you go around, you'll see some of them, concrete work and stuff. We still have some more to go. We did learn some new ways. We should be able to fix a couple of the things over there, keep our costs down. We've been winterizing the summer equipment and unwinterizing the winter equipment. So when you start seeing that go around, don't get upset that S word is coming. The truck's like getting ready to be loaded and put that way. And then we just had the biggest thing, or one of the biggest activities was the tear down, or set up and tear down for But as you know, we test all the lights here before we hang them. So next week, we've already started testing the lights, but that doesn't mean once they get on the pole that they work. It's an irritating thing, but yes. And that's all I got going on right now.
Okay.
If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask it. Anytime. We're here.
Hey Casey, what's the turnaround time in ordering the meters?
The meters? It's because we're getting the cam strap meters instead. Our ordering process is a little slower, but not as bad as it is because we're still doing bulk purchases. When I say bulk, we're doing like, was it 20, 30 at a time?
Yeah.
So,
Just wondering. Thank you.
yeah, and the only reason why is because, right now there's quite a few different projects going on that, Chemstrap is supplying meters.
Right.
Because of the way the system works. It's obviously a better system, because a lot of the other villages and cities are going to it, so.
Right.
But, yeah, we'll be getting that order in here shortly. Roughly about, to really answer your question, about a month. Once we get them in with an order of that size, it takes about a month.
I feel, yeah.
And we're down enough that we can go ahead and make it.
Right.
Okay.
That's all.
Anybody else got questions for Casey? Police report, Chief Garver?
Okay, so I wasn't here at the last meeting, so I just kind of glazed over both months. We handled, since October 1st, 182 cases. Traffic and all of them, and we have a new officer that some of you may not have met yet. He's here, he's gonna wanna see how council goes, and he'll be doing a mayor's court session and stuff like that, so. He recently completed field training, and, Officer LaCrone and Chris have been out doing field training with me. They're getting close to being done as well, so there's been, at times, 2 cars out, so like, when they get close to being on their own, they go out on their own car, and then I kind of just watch them and see how they're doing, and if they need me, then they call me, and that's where we're at with him. Everything's going good. And so there was more traffic stops in the last couple of weeks, and I ruffled some feathers on Facebook, if any of you were on a Facebook community page.
Oh, yeah.
So I just chose not to reply to anything because
It's
I
always
kind of
best.
know a little bit more about, the situations than what they're, putting on Facebook. But some of this stuff we gotta go through court first anyway.
Right, right.
Kind of to let you know, they didn't run the stop sign, we're making it up. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I assure you that we have plenty of traffic violations that we don't need to make things up, so. Anyway, so if any of you saw that, that's.
We don't rule on it here anyway, you're right, they'll go to mayor's court, so.
Yeah, they can do their arguing there, and then, First Amendment, they can do what they want, that's fine, but I
Right.
found it to be fruitless to try to reply as the police department,
Right.
because 230 feet, I think, like, in that area to get stopped if they jam on the brakes. Well, if you put that into, perspective, look at the lot sizes in town. How many houses do they blow by before they can get stopped? So if it is a kid chasing the ball out in the street or something like that, they don't even have the possibility of getting stopped at that speed, even if they had, race car driver instincts. Because even in the optimal conditions, dry pavement, it's lit, all that, which is usually not the case. Most of our tickets are in the evening and stuff like that. Where it's dark out, that's gonna increase your reaction time and make it even further for them to get stopped. So, on speedy tickets, I think we've only written, I have it on here somewhere, but I'm skipping around. But to date, since the police department's been open, which is coming up on a year next month, we have written 0.9 tickets per day. So not even on average a ticket a day. So if you see the Facebook drama about, oh, that's all we're doing is writing tickets, when you average it out, sure, there's days that we write a few more tickets in one day because whatever is more active that day, or we have more officers on duty, but on average, we're not even writing a ticket a day. And the warnings are about equal to the tickets. So we're trying to be fair about it, trying to get people slowed down and stop those stuff. Those are the two biggest complaints we have for traffic, is the speed in the residential areas and people running stop signs. Second to that, on the criminal side, would be the drugs, and I don't think that they realize that all crime is mobile, okay? So whether it's, on foot through the yard or in a car, you gotta stop them when they're moving to either discover the crime or to take action on the fact of the crime. So there's going to be traffic stops, and that's when you get the criminal tools and the meth and, whatever else out of cars. So they may think that we're out there harassing the motoring public. That's not how we view it. So if there's any questions that you have, I'll be happy to take them, but that kind of glazed over, the most recent.
I would just say thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're not even getting paid, so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's more than, and we definitely, I would think we all probably agree that we understand that if they're moving fast, even 5 over the speed limit through there, there's kids playing, it's a safety issue. There's, when you're in a compressed area like that, it makes it way more dangerous. So, I mean, I don't think any of us don't understand, we definitely do.
And I think that as a rule, we also encourage them to call and speak to you, or we
Usually they're
encourage.
in.
Yeah, I would say too, I would just state that, like, council wouldn't have anything to do with it. They would need to go to court, as I understand, and then they could say not guilty and then plea that. It wouldn't come here anyway.
No, what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that we encourage them to address the people that can
Right.
actually
Do something about it.
answer questions, or come to council where they can, if they have a concern regarding what's going on in the village. I think that we all have seen people do that, and
I know you and I typically.
that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That
That's
doesn't,
suggested.
so, I'm confident in the choices we made, standing up a police department, and who we have in charge, and who we have keeping us safe. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel that's how Corey Harrier, councilman, feels about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like to, when somebody raises something, I'm happy to talk to them about, but I've just found that, Facebook group
That's the court of public opinion, and
is, right,
it doesn't do any good to complain on there, because there's nobody there to do anything about it.
Yeah, their best effort is to talk to you or to go to mayor's court and
Which
discuss their
very rarely-
case there, so.
yeah, they're not interested in doing it, that way. They just,
Right.
it won't make a splash on Facebook, and I know that several of the members are on there, and you're gonna see, you're like, oh my gosh, what's our police department doing? Well, I'll just tell you what we're doing. So,
Yeah.
I think one more useless statistic off of the tickets, just for everybody's peace of mind, is the average speed over the posted limit is 15.15 miles over.
Right, right,
So it's not even like the 5 over.
right. No, I know.
We try to be very fair.
I was really only just saying that, letting you guys know, like, my opinion is in that area with kids crossing the street, like, you don't really have to be at 15 for me, so, and I'm not,
No,
yeah.
It's
I know
cool.
you guys are very lenient.
We
Yeah. Oh, of course.
One thing for the council to consider, which I did mention to the mayor, and it might be like a fiscal year kind of a thing, but it would be helpful to us if we could get signs ordered. We would need 3, Walnut and then West Columbus on both ends, to list the times that the school's in session, since there is no blinking light
Okay.
on the sign, because it's not a state route, and it's also a choppy jurisdictional issue right there, because it's partially county and partially village road, and all within the school zone, so nobody has wanted to cough up the money for blinking lights, because it's multi-jurisdictional and it's not state funded and all that, so.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that you need to go out and spend 20 grand on blinking lights, I'm just thinking, maybe spend $100 on a few signs, and we'll post them right below the 20 zone, so people at least can see, 8:10 in the morning until 8:40, I need to go 20 miles an hour, or whatever.
Right.
Do you want me to take it to Jason, or since you guys do signs, do you want to ask Jason about it?
Oh,
Okay.
we can just ask.
Yeah.
Just like, I know Baltimore under theirs, it says road restricted hours, is all it says on it.
We have a mixed bag of what the signs say, so some of them say when children are present, and some say hours. The problem is, again, in that aspect of being fair, if you really are not from say State Route 37, there's a little hump in the road that is about as tall as a vehicle, and that is where school zone starts. There's no 25 sign at the corporation limit, because again, of that county jurisdictional thing where the right of way didn't come to the center of the road, which I guess is another project the mayor's working on, trying to get those things cleaned up so we can properly post everything. But the county took down the 25-mile-an-hour sign at the corporation limit, which was their warning to get them slowed down. But that hump in the road, I think is kind of unfair to just hammer everybody coming in from the west, because they don't even have an opportunity to see the school buses, the kids, whatever, because of that, rain. Now, the sign is there, and it's posted, and it's completely legal, and we could write them tickets, no problem, but they just, they can't see through the hill to know that, okay, it says when children are present, well, they can't see the kids until they get up on top of there, so if they're really flying, we're gonna stop them, and, sometimes we're gonna take it, sometimes not, depending on circumstances, but it's the people that are coming down Walnut Street leaving, where they have an opportunity to see the school buses, the kids, the parents, all that, and they choose to speed anyway, or roll the stop sign, or coming down West Columbus Street to leave town. Either one of those ways, they have ample warning, they can see what's going on, it's a completely fair game, and you'll still get them. They'll stop at the stop sign, and they'll be at, what was our top, 58 miles an hour. That's in a Mustang, okay, but.
Kids were present in that too.
Kids were present. So, but the signs, I think the hours would help us, school days and then the 2 time ranges. There's actually 3 when they drop kids off in the middle of the day, but I think that might be a bit too much for the motorists to read by, so we probably ought to just stick with, when school starts and when school ends.
Ends, yeah.
Otherwise it would be like, what, all these time ranges, and.
So do we know why the county, I guess I did,
We don't own the road.
but why did they take it down?
We don't own the road.
Because it's their.
Because it's their road.
Oh, it was our sign.
They own the road.
Yeah,
So
okay,
the-
okay.
The houses are in the village.
Yes.
It's
So-
just, they didn't annex to the middle or to the other side of the road back in the
Yeah,
50s
so
or,
the road was never annexed. So the county road actually stops at the stop sign.
yeah. So it's technically 55 to the stop sign,
Yes.
if you want to get technical about it.
Okay.
Unless it's a school.
Now, if you did go back out further, there is a sign saying slow down ahead or something like that.
Did we call the county and ask?
Yes, we
Okay.
put that up with the county actually helped us put that one up.
But I mean, about the other
There's
sign.
still conversations
Oh,
going on
okay.
about that. That's why I said, I'll give it to Jason, because I know there's still conversations with that part of
Road,
the road.
okay.
There's a bunch of issues like that, but supposedly fixing that area, fixing Richmond Road,
Yeah,
fixing the water tank on
Okay.
the east end of town, and maybe even on the north side by like the Marathon where it's kind of half the road and all that.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
so he's trying to do like a package annexation deal,
okay,
to do all areas at the same time.
okay,
And that's why I said, well, I'll get with Davey.
Okay. okay,
Trying to get more leeway so we can get some more
Right.
signage up.
okay, well, thank you.
Because I know we're working with the state up more
Okay,
right now and stuff, so.
okay. Then one thing I want to note, I did stop down to the grooming place. I just haven't taken it back in, but she is going to allow me to put the picture of the canine up for donations as her customers come in and out. She thought it was a good idea. So,
Okay.
so yeah.
We're probably gonna put a camera on the village office monitoring, Maine and Columbus,
Okay,
which will help twofold, so when, you know, we have the people complaining about the stop sign tickets, then we can go back and,
that's a great idea too.
you know, but also, if there's some sort of a crime that happens in town, most likely they're gonna go through that intersection, and then we can get a better visual on what vehicle it was and about what time whatever happened, and, I doubt that it'll be able to pick up a license plate from that distance at night, but, I don't know. We'll leave
I
it to
could be remembering the name wrong, but I think some departments use something called Flock.
Very expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was something that we could,
Yeah, so they're up everywhere, you'll see them,
because I know they kind of somehow it searches the license, you know, like it
Automatically
does
runs
all the
them.
work, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll automatically run them. They're black posts, they have a little, solar panel on top, and a black panel mount, so there's one right up there. 56 just north of that intersection. They're actually all over the place if you pay attention, but you can't hardly go anywhere anymore without driving past, you know, 2 or 3 of them wherever you're going. But, in order for it to be beneficial for us to do that, those cameras are each $3,500 per year. And so, and you have to have 10 if you want to be able to share information with other departments.
Do you know if the county uses them, like Fairfield County?
I know, I do know there are cameras in Fairfield County. I'm assuming it's the sheriff's office that is probably getting like a regional grant to subsidize that. I know Licking County has like 100 and some up. They're everywhere in Licking
Yeah,
County.
yeah.
We do have some around us, but it would be nice if we could get them in town, because those are very good cameras, and they obviously are good enough to get to plate even at night when they're moving, so that's a good camera. But it's gonna be cost prohibitive, you know,
Okay.
unless we get a grant,
Okay,
you know, $3,500 per camera per year,
right,
so.
okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay. Sorry, making a note. Okay, so old business. I know Corey wanted to talk about the water
You
tower.
already answered it,
Okay.
thank you.
And then, new business, we actually have, a resolution, the supplemental appropriations. And that is for the street fund, for operating supplies, and material. And then it's also for the mayor's court, fund, office supplies and material. The resolution is 11/14/2401. And it looks like they've attached the two amounts to the back. Do I have a motion to approve?
Where's the amounts?
Oh, let's pass it around so everybody can look at it. They're attached to the back.
That's just mine.
It was,
Oh, because there's not amounts on it.
No, when I do the purchase order, the resolution's in there. But on mine,
Yeah,
I
the
put what I, like the purchase order when I did it.
Yeah, the purchase orders are attached to the one that we're gonna sign.
I don't normally give that to them.
There's normally an
Yeah,
amount
there
on
is
There's
one.
an amount on there.
There isn't.
there's not,
Oh, well. You know, it's hard to tell.
Can we write it in? I just figured that's why you would tap the two.
Yeah, what's the amount?
Attach
I
the
really
two.
can just write
To
it.
be totally honest, I remembered at 5 till 4 today that I forgot to do that.
That's
so.
okay, we understand what
You
you're going
have
through
a little
right now.
distracted. Do you have the amount?
Yeah, we'll write it up.
It's
one that
only
we.
One of them's 580 and one of them's 1,000.
Okay.
Computer was 580.
Computer,
That would have been yours,
Mayor's Court,
yes,
is 580
yeah, the 1,000 was
and
street department.
$1,000
Yeah,
even?
yes,
Okay, thank you.
Here, I can tell her.
sorry.
That's all right, I
I
just
didn't
put it
even
in the
look at that.
minutes. I need it for the minutes, so that way I don't have to bug you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we'll just write it in.
That's good, we just need a motion.
580 for the, is the computer work for the street fund or the?
No, the 580 is for the
Office
mayor's
supplies
court.
for Mayor's Court.
Okay, so I'm just gonna write it beside it.
That's fine. And the $1,000 was the street.
But it looks like it's 1,040.31.
Okay, there was extra money in there and I pulled it over, but it's only what I
Okay.
wrote.
Oh.
underneath
1,040.31,
Yeah.
yeah. I just wanna put the right amount. Oh, oh, gotcha.
So there's already money
Thank
sitting
you.
in there, so I
Okay.
did the purchase order for the
This
whole
way
thing.
before we get the right amounts are beside each of the,
Yeah, I just need $1,000 and
Okay, so do we have a motion to pass 1,000 for the street fund and 580 for the mayor's court?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Motion
Okay,
President Seymour?
yes.
Councilman Dingler? Councilwoman Harriet? Councilwoman Morton? Yes. Councilwoman Henry? I don't know, it's driving me crazy.
Oh, yes, and, roll call.
Nope, we already did that.
I just did that.
So we have to do the street.
Oh,
Say aye.
sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah,
All those in favor?
all those
You
in
don't-
favor.
You don't have to do that, I just did roll call.
Oh, okay, I thought, okay.
No, that's why I called everybody's
Okay.
name, that's
It's,
motion passed.
it's okay, you're helping.
We're good.
I'm just,
You're good.
I thought I missed some.
Next
I
one.
did too.
Okay, so we also have the second reading for the ordinance. The first one is for water debt service charge for the village, ordinance 10-10-2402. And then the storm sewer debit service charge, and it's 10-10-2403. I don't think we need a vote for those, just, it's the second reading. And then the last thing, those were both ordinances. There is a resolution on the table for the Cincinnati Circus contract. It's related to our music and street festival. The village wishes to purchase the entertainment. The entertainment does show to be $6,200, and it would be for next year's festival. When we were talking through it before the meeting, it sounds like Jason, the mayor, is working on sponsors, and he currently has one sponsor for about $3,000. So I don't know if we want to take a look at the contract.
We're gonna table this till next meeting, because we don't know a thing about it.
Yeah, other than he just has the one.
Right.
Yeah, if that's what you guys want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, we can do that. We'll table it till the next meeting. Do we have a motion to table it?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. And everybody in
Who made a
favor?
motion? I'm sorry. I
Oh,
did.
sorry.
Sorry, Jason usually repeats it to me so I can type while you talk. Spoiler.
Yeah, he's good at
And
this.
then Katie, you second? Thank you.
Everybody in favor, say
Aye.
anybody opposed, same sign? Okay, next is, do we have any council member comments or concerns? Nope.
Jason wanted to make sure you should have all had the lunch with Santa on your desk.
Oh.
Because that's happening like the day after our next council meeting. So he just wanted to make sure you guys had that and that was made aware of as well.
Yep, second Saturday in December from 12 to 2 at the community center. And that looks like it's December 14th, and the parade will begin at 11. And I'm sure anybody that wants to volunteer, show up.
We'll have that.
Also, Toma's making food.
Okay, and Los Ochomas making food. And then, anything else?
May I ask a question?
Sure,
Your next meeting is
the second Thursday,
the 12th
I'd have to,
of December.
Yes.
is that,
some discussion as to whether or not you want to go forward with it?
Well, previously, we had said that we were gonna stay neutral. I will say with the new information, I read through your last packet that you gave me, but I think it is important that everybody, if they want to, has, yeah. I would say at this point, we're gonna stay neutral. If, one of the council members have concerns, they can bring it back, and then we can always do a different vote if somebody wants to vote on it. At this time, we're neutral. But as they read the information, if they have concerns, we can definitely circle back.
Okay. My phone number is there on the cover page,
Okay,
so don't hesitate to call me.
okay,
And if I don't know the answer, we'll find out.
Yep.
We will get it for you.
yep, and I have her number too, so if anybody.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay, thank you. And then miscellaneous that I would just announce is the American Legion is this Sunday having a turkey shoot to raise money for the American Legion. So anybody that's interested or knows anybody, if they
When
can
is it?
pass the word.
What time is it?
Start showing up around 11, we start shooting at 12.
On Sunday, the 17th.
Do you have like a little, like, thing that we can share on the community page for that?
It's already on there.
Is it? Okay.
I
don't
can
remember seeing
send
it.
it to you because he sent me a flyer, so I can
Okay.
send it. And
That'd be
I was gonna, I'll share it on Facebook.
Okay.
Because I was going to after talking to him tonight anyway, so.
Okay,
And then you can reshare it from there.
sounds good. I'll put it to
Okay.
the top of the community page.
Okay, good. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Say aye. All those opposed, same sign, and we will call the meeting to close at 8 PM.
You have to look at this.
Katie Bug, did you turn off your thing?
Yes, you did.
Hey, did you, oh, Casey's turning it off.